This podcast is presented by Win City Sports.
What up? Welcome back to Cedric's Combat Corner Interviews. Today, my special guest is professional basketball player Miah-Marie Langlois. Miss Langlois is one of the most accomplished basketball players in Canadian basketball history. We'll just start with her university career, where she basically went flawless. 4 years, 4 championships, 4 CIS championship MVPs. People talk about Jordan went 6 for 6. Well, she went 4 for 4. She was also named the 3-time CIS Defensive Player of the Year. After she graduated in 2014, she moved up to Team Canada and became the starting point guard for the senior team, and of course continued her success up there. In 2015, she won a gold medal at the Pan Am Games and also gold medal at the FIBA Americas Championships to help Canada qualify for the 2016 Rio Olympics. This year, Team Canada qualified for the Tokyo Olympics, but unfortunately, we all know the world has shut down, so no Olympics this year. And hopefully things will be back to normal soon. But in the meantime, she had some time to sit down and talk with me for a few minutes. So let's get right into it.
All right. Here at Miah-Marie Langlois, pro basketball player in the #1 female pro league in the world in Russia. Can you please, first of all, thank you for coming on here. And can you please tell people the name of the team that you played for in Russia?
Yeah, thanks for having me. So I played, the city's called Novosibirsk. So the team name is Dynamo-Novosibirsk.
That's good. All right. Cool. So let's get right into it. So specifically about coaching, I know you played basketball your whole life. You played on a few championship teams. What specifically to you, what do you think makes a championship level head coach? And I guess you can kind of answer this together. What do you think makes a championship level head coach? And like, if you were starting your own team, what specifically would you be looking for in the coach that you're looking to hire?
What will I specifically be looking for? What?
In the coach that you're looking to hire, like if you were starting.
I think the #1 team at that point is knowing how to manage players. Because, when things, especially when you're like the championship tournament or a game or match or finals, it's, it's strategic, but you also have to manage the players' emotions because it's amplified even more. And the team that's able to manage their emotions and each other are the ones that succeed. They can stay calm. They can focus on the objective and all that. And I find it, emotions oftentimes override when you're playing in a game. You don't think straight.
Yeah, exactly. Staying calm under pressure, calm under pressure, just like in a boxing ring.
Yeah.
The pressure's on. You still got to stay calm and still being able to perform. So now specifically, is there any red flags that you'd be looking for? Like, I thought about it before, and at first I was like, some coaches that show blatant favoritism to certain athletes. But then again, I understand, if there's certain athletes, if that's your best player, they, at the pro level, you can kind of get away with certain things that maybe the lowest level athlete might not be able to get away with.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, it's tough. I think a red flag in a coach would be like anything that a coach is supposed to create an environment where that player can flourish. Mm-hmm. Like the way might not be always like it's going to be up and down, but they're at the end of the season, they're going to be at their best. Yeah. Whatever that environment means. But if the coach is creating an environment where after a while you don't see improvements, I think that's a red flag. Because what are you doing to that? Not what are you doing, but how are you not changing your coaching style to that player?
Yes, exactly. And that, I guess, is just straight up in wins and losses. Like if your team is actually improving each year.
Yeah. And I think it goes a bit more beyond even just like X's and O's and just playing. Like it's, who they are as a person that has to be building too. You don't want to have a champion and he's just I don't know. A shitty guy.
Yeah.
I think that goes hand in hand.
Mm. And I guess as far as managing personalities too, like, because some coaches might not understand that some players learn differently, whether it's, some players are more visual learners where they actually have to see something happen. Some people are more verbal where you can just tell them, go do that, and they can do it.
Yeah.
Some coaches don't see that. Some coaches only have one learning style, and then, if you don't fit into that learning style, they think it's your fault.
Yeah, I totally agree. Even like in basketball, you'll have a coach, every year they might run the same offense, but they got different players. It doesn't,
yeah.
You find a template that suits the players. So I think that's another red flag.
I got you. But just in general, the coaching, like as far as the championship level head coach, you said the main thing was being able to manage everyone together, where it's like mentally and physically, knowing the personalities, the way you can talk to certain people, and the way to motivate certain people.
And that's a hard thing to do.
I'm assuming, especially in a team dynamic, when you're dealing with 15 different players and just little things, people complaining about playing time when they might not, think they deserve it. So I can definitely understand that.
That's another thing why managing is so important, because if you make that an importance at the beginning of the season, people will know their role. They're going to know what to expect. So then when you get to like close games, they're not going to be thinking they're going on. You know your role. We manage the situation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got that. Okay. Well, that's anything you want to add to about coaching? About that?
I think coaching is a very hard thing to do.
Is this something, I know you're obviously still in the middle of your career right now. Do you think you're going to dabble into coaching one day, and at what level?
I mean, I think sure. I can't say I would never do it, because you can coach at any age. It might not be at a high level, but if I want to coach, it can be young kids, and that might be what I want. So anytime soon, no. In the future, perhaps, yeah.
Nice. All right, moving on to work ethic. Can you get an answer this specifically for any kids out there listening that aspire to be a pro athlete like yourself? We've all heard the saying before, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. It's true, but even at the pro level, that's not always the case. There's some athletes that are just simply that much better than you and can get away with it. So specifically in your case, and just expanding off that, were you someone that was able to get away with your athletic abilities, or did you actually have to work to get to where you are?
Oh,
I mean, you know what? Actually, to be fair, at the pro level, it has to be a bit of both. It has to be a bit of both.
I think before I even jump into that, I would address the whole, by the time you get to the professional level, you understand everyone has a different method to their madness, right? And regardless, you are both in the same spot, and you can't get angry at him if he just goes off of talent. At least if you went off hard work, you can apply that anywhere in your life.
Yeah.
That's what you got to look at it like that. Okay, I know how to get up in the morning at 6 a.m. I know how to get through the hard days when I have to work out, then go to work, and then I think that's what keeps people hardworking people. They're able to it becomes an addiction. I think so. It's a good one because it's a good feeling.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I guess and this applies to any sport, that the great ones are the ones that have that talent but have that psychotic mentality about still working hard, and that's what separates them. I guess the pro athletes from the Hall of Famers.
Yeah, right? You actually you start to enjoy it.
Yes,
but, that's another. I know it's kind of off topic, but
I would.
As you get older, and you are a workaholic, you do have good work ethic, and you're used to one way. There's a different way, and it might be being more a student of the game and watching film more.
Yes.
I think it's important to be able to make that switch and be a work ethic in different areas.
And you're speaking still as a pro athlete in your career, right?
Yeah. And like for me, you know, I'm 28 years old and I have to make a switch. I can't train like I was training when I was 22.
Exactly.
You know?
So train smarter, not harder, but smarter.
Exactly.
Because as you get older as an athlete, you can't rely so much on the athleticism. It has to be more on yeah.
Then, right?
Mm.
So there's so many different levels to it.
Nice. Speaking of motivation, so you've been a pro for how many years now? 6 years?
Yep, 6.
All right, so you're still in your 28, so you still got a couple more good years left in you. What like I said, you won championships throughout your career. What is your motivation to keep working hard now?
Oof. Well, I think for me it's almost simple, right? I do love the game. I love playing it, right? And I am competitive. So when I walk on the court, I don't want to be the worst player on the court. You know, I'm not going to embarrass myself. I'm not going to spend all this time and doing what I'm doing and not give it my all.
Yeah.
So it's just like, that's like, if I'm going to do it, I'm putting everything into it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I guess that's the work ethic in me.
Yeah. And I just thought of this right now, but being a female basketball player coming up, I'm assuming you've had to play against boys and stuff like that. And that just not any specific question towards that, but like, and this question is specifically for any female athletes coming up, not just basketball players, but like competing against boys and having that strong mentality, because obviously, no guy, wants to lose to a girl. Like, just as a competitor, as a kid competitor, you're gonna think like that.
Well, it's so funny every time I go play with guys, because like
still to this day, right?
Same routine. Oh, I love it. I love it because it's different, right? Girls and guys think differently. Mm-hmm. So you step on the court, and they let you. They don't want to hurt you. And, all right, you asked for this, right? And then all the boys start clowning on him. And then, it's that's the part I like. And that's, you got to be able to enjoy the game if you want to play for it. You got to enjoy anything you do in life. Exactly. I'm a firm believer in that.
Exactly. All right, my last thing was specifically incorporating boxing and basketball. For any athletes that I train in other sports in general, I try to explain to them that, the boxing drills that we do can apply to your sport to help you athletically, specifically like hand-eye coordination, footwork, agility, and obviously the general conditioning part of it. Specifically for you, for the few of your off seasons, I know you work all year round. For the few times that you were able to come back home, you came to the boxing gym a few times to do some boxing stuff. Can you speak a little bit how boxing helped your performance?
Oh yeah, obviously the conditioning, but just to build on that, it's just you gotta be precise when you box. It's technical, right?
Yeah.
You gotta move your feet. You gotta move your hands right, your shoulders, right?
Exactly.
At the same time, like, you are tired, so it forces you to stay focused and accurate while tired.
Exactly.
And that's where, like, I want to get better as a basketball player, because I want to be in that fourth quarter, and I gotta make that bucket, then go guard the best player on the next team.
Especially as the starting point guard, they're relying on you to make the smart decisions.
Yeah, you gotta think. You gotta play full court defense. You gotta bring the ball up. You gotta talk. Like, you gotta do it all while you're tired. So
exactly.
I like that from boxing. It makes me extremely tired because I'm not even used to the movements.
Mm-hmm.
And
they focused on the accuracy, like the offense for accuracy. Yeah.
Oh man. Like, you got to remember that. So it's actual mental for me.
Exactly. Is there anything else? Do you have anything else coming up? I know. Everyone's stuck inside right now, but any camps or anything like that, or any athletes that you're working with that you want to promote?
No, not really. No, it's just it's I'm taking care of business outside of basketball right now. And, you know, you got to have balance in life. So when I can do some of that, that's what I dabble in.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, thank you very much.
No problem.
We'll definitely keep in touch and
hopefully see you soon.
Yes. Hopefully see you soon.
All right.
Virtual pound.
All right. I like that.
All right.
1, 2, 3, smack that thumbs up for this video. Smack it, baby!